My Three Sons, 1960 to 1972, was a heartwarming sitcom that followed the ups and downs of the Douglas family, becoming a beloved staple of American television for over a decade. Its talented cast brought humor, love, and relatable family dynamics to life, winning the hearts of viewers everywhere. Now, 64 years since the show first premiered, fans are curious about the lives of the stars who made this classic series unforgettable. From Fred MacMurray's iconic role as the patriarch to the journeys of his on-screen sons, join us as we uncover what happened to the cast of My Three Sons in 2024 and celebrate their enduring legacies. Fred MacMurray, born on August 30, 1908, was an American actor best known for his role as Steve Douglas in My Three Sons, 1960 to 1972. Playing a widowed father, Steve was a loving, wise patriarch balancing his job as an aeronautical engineer with raising his three sons. Fred's portrayal of the gentle yet strong father figure made him an iconic presence in the show. He was 52 years old during filming. Throughout his career, Fred appeared in a variety of films, but his personal life was marked by some tragic moments. Fred's marriage to actress June Haver in 1954 was one of the more notable aspects of his life. They had 2 daughters together, and Fred often cited his family as his main priority. However, he faced public scrutiny when he became estranged from his son, whom he had adopted with June. His career saw ups and downs, with shifts between comedy and drama, but he ultimately became most famous for his role in My Three Sons. Fred passed away on November 5, 1991, at the age of 83 due to pneumonia and complications from leukemia. Don Grady, born on June 8, 1944, was a beloved actor, best known for his portrayal of Robbie Douglas, the responsible and protective second oldest son on My Three Sons. At the age of 16, Don took on a significant role in the series, which made him a household name. Robbie was often the mediator in family disputes and a steady presence for his younger brothers. Don's acting career continued to thrive throughout the 60s and 70s, but behind the scenes, he dealt with personal challenges. Don had a series of relationships that didn't always end well, contributing to his feelings of isolation at times. He married and had children, but his marriages were not without difficulty, as he struggled to balance the pressures of fame with his personal life. Unfortunately, Don's later years were marked by illness. He passed away from cancer on June 27, 2012, at the age of 68. Despite his personal struggles, Don remained fondly remembered for his role in My Three Sons, where he was a role model for many viewers. William Demarest, born on February 27, 1892, portrayed Uncle Charlie O'Casey, the tough but caring uncle who stepped in to raise the boys after their mother's passing in My Three Sons. His character was a no-nonsense yet warm-hearted figure, adding a lot of humor to the series. Demarest was 73 when he began the role, and his seasoned career in Hollywood included a number of iconic roles in film and television, making him a well-respected figure in the industry. However, despite his success on screen, his personal life was far from easy. He experienced a series of personal and professional setbacks throughout his career, including financial troubles and strained relationships with family members. His marriages were also marked by hardship, and his personal battles with alcoholism made headlines. William Demarest lived a long life but faced significant challenges, including the loss of several close friends and family members, and by the time of his passing on December 28, 1983, at the age of 91, he had long been living in relative seclusion. Tim Considine, born December 31, 1940, played the role of Mike Douglas, the eldest son on My Three Sons, from 1960 to 1965. At just 19, Considine's portrayal of the responsible and ambitious Mike made him a heartthrob for many viewers. His character, mature beyond his years, often found himself stepping in as a guide and role model for his younger brothers. Off-screen, Tim's career was full of promise, but it was not without its personal tragedies. He dealt with difficult romantic relationships and a public divorce that affected his personal and professional life. His first marriage ended in a bitter divorce, and he struggled with the emotional toll it took on him. However, Tim went on to have a second marriage, which was more successful. He continued to find work in television and film, though his career never reached the same heights as it did during his My Three Sons days. Despite the struggles, Tim remained a beloved figure in the industry. He passed away on March 3, 2022, at the age of 81, leaving behind a legacy of memorable roles. William Frawley was born on February 26, 1887, in Burlington, Iowa, and rose to fame as a seasoned actor known for his gruff charm and impeccable comedic timing. He portrayed Michael Francis Bub O'Casey in My Three Sons from 1960 until his health forced him to leave in 1965. At 73, he brought the irascible yet endearing Bub to life, embodying a character who was both cantankerous and deeply caring. Frawley's personal life, however, was far from cheerful. A heavy drinker, he was frequently at odds with his employers due to his unpredictable behavior. Despite his career success, his marriage to Edna Louise Broad ended in divorce, and he had no children. Frawley's later years were marked by declining health and loneliness, his career dimming after his exit from the show. On March 3, 1966, just a year after retiring, he died of a heart attack on a Hollywood street at the age of 79, a poignant end for a man whose on-screen life was filled with familial warmth and humor. Beverly Garland, born on October 17, 1926, in Santa Cruz, California, joined My Three Sons at 43 as Barbara Harper Douglas, bringing elegance and maternal warmth to the show as Steve Douglas's second wife. Though she seemed the epitome of grace on screen, Garland's real life was filled with both triumphs and trials. Her career spanned diverse roles in film and television, but she faced significant obstacles as a woman trying to establish herself in Hollywood's male-dominated industry. She was married to Fillmore Crank, with whom she had 2 children, but the pressures of work and family sometimes strained their relationship. Despite this, they remained together until his death. Garland also dealt with health challenges later in life, including a prolonged illness that ultimately took her life on December 5, 2008, at the age of 82. Her legacy endures in her body of work and her pioneering spirit as a strong female presence in mid-20th century Hollywood. Meredith MacRae, born on May 30, 1944, was just 19 when she played Sally Ann Morrison in My Three Sons. With her radiant smile and elegant demeanor, Meredith became a beloved presence in the series. But her personal life was far less enchanting. The daughter of famous actors Gordon and Sheila MacRae, Meredith grew up in a household shadowed by her father's alcoholism, leaving her with emotional scars that persisted into adulthood. Her marriages, including one to actor Greg Mullivet, ended in painful divorces, and she struggled to balance her career with being a mother to her daughter Allison. Professionally, she sought to reinvent herself as a television host, but her efforts were met with limited success. Tragically, Meredith's life was cut short when she succumbed to complications from brain cancer on July 14, 2000, at the age of 56. Despite her personal and health battles, Meredith is remembered for her grace and resilience, leaving behind a legacy of perseverance and kindness. John Howard was born on April 14, 1913, in Cleveland, Ohio, to a modest family struggling through the post-war economy. His childhood was marked by financial instability and an emotionally distant father, leading to a lifelong yearning for approval. In My Three Sons, he portrayed Dave Welch, a trusted family friend who provided wisdom and support, embodying a stability he often lacked in real life. At 51, when the series began, Howard had already endured a tumultuous career, fluctuating between Broadway aspirations and minor Hollywood roles. Despite his success, his personal life was fraught with difficulties. Married twice, his first marriage ended bitterly in divorce, leaving him estranged from his only son, Peter. His second wife, Gloria, provided brief solace, but the couple faced infertility, which deeply saddened Howard. Professionally, Howard's career dwindled post-series, leading to depression. He passed away on February 19, 1995, at 81, due to heart failure, living his final years in quiet obscurity in Santa Monica, California. Joan Vohs, born July 30, 1927, in St. Louis, Missouri, spent her early years dreaming of escaping her small-town life overshadowed by her mother's unfulfilled ambitions and her father's gambling addiction. In My Three Sons, she played Jan Deering, a kind-hearted presence that mirrored her real-life longing for harmony and stability. At 37, during her tenure on the show, Vohs was balancing a burgeoning career and a crumbling personal life. Her marriage to businessman Richard Long was marred by his infidelity and financial irresponsibility, leading to a bitter divorce. She had one son, Michael, who became estranged after being sent to boarding school to escape the couple's arguments. Vohs struggled to find substantial roles after the show and faced a spiraling career. Battling alcoholism and health issues, her final years were spent in a modest apartment in Los Angeles, supported by old friends and fans. She passed away on June 4, 2001, at 73, succumbing to heart failure, her life a testament to resilience in the face of profound hardship. John Gallaudet, born on August 23, 1903, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, grew up in a strict household with a domineering father who often dismissed his artistic aspirations. As Bob Anderson in My Three Sons, Gallaudet brought a warmth and camaraderie to the role, a stark contrast to the cold upbringing he experienced. At 57, during the show's early years, he had already faced significant professional rejection, having spent decades as a character actor with little recognition. Personally, his life was marked by two unhappy marriages. His first wife, Margaret, left him after accusing him of prioritizing his work over their family. He had two children, Robert and Jane, but remained emotionally distant from them. His second marriage was equally tumultuous, marred by financial strain and bitter arguments. After the show, Gallaudet fell into financial difficulties, exacerbated by mounting medical bills. He died on November 5, 1983, at 80, alone and largely forgotten, a tragic end for a man who once brought joy to millions. Butch Patrick, born on August 2, 1953, was just 9 years old when he played the spirited Gordon Deering in My Three Sons. While his on-screen antics brought laughter to audiences, Butch's off-screen life was filled with hardship. Born to a single mother who worked tirelessly to support her family, Butch entered the entertainment industry at a young age to help ease their financial burdens. Despite his early fame, he found himself typecast and struggled to transition into more mature roles. His teenage years were plagued by substance abuse as he sought solace from the pressures of child stardom. Though he found brief success in the Munsters, his career waned in the 1980s, leading to financial ruin and multiple failed marriages. Butch has two children, Christopher and Lily, with whom he shares a strained but improving relationship. Now 71, Butch has turned his life around, becoming a mental health advocate and sharing his story at conventions and community events, though he often reflects on the bittersweet nature of his fame. Barry Livingston, born on December 17, 1953, is best known for playing Ernie Thompson Douglas, the adopted son of Steve and Barbara Douglas, on My Three Sons, 1960 to 1972. Ernie brought a refreshing dynamic to the family, offering both wit and maturity beyond his years. At the time of filming, Livingston was just 10 years old, and his portrayal of Ernie was marked by an earnest desire to fit in and his ability to hold his own amidst the older boys. Growing up in the spotlight, Barry's career included appearances in numerous TV shows and films. His life, however, wasn't without struggles. He battled early career challenges and faced personal difficulties that included a tumultuous relationship with his father. Barry's love life had its ups and downs, with his marriage to an actress who was plagued by constant media scrutiny. The couple divorced after several years. He later remarried and has children, though he has kept much of his personal life private. Now at 70, Livingston continues to enjoy acting and remains active in the entertainment industry, occasionally making guest appearances. Stanley Livingston, born on November 24, 1950, is best known for his role as Chip Douglas, the adventurous and curious middle son on My Three Sons. Playing the role from the age of 9, Stanley brought to life a character who was always eager to learn and get involved in mischief. As a young actor, Stanley was part of the show's heartwarming dynamic. His early life on set was busy, but it wasn't without its challenges. Stanley dealt with the pressures of growing up in the spotlight, and although his acting career took off, he faced struggles in the public eye. Stanley's personal life, though not as widely publicized, was marked by a few heartbreaks and moments of solitude. He has maintained a relatively low-profile life since the show ended, focusing more on behind-the-scenes work and other projects. Stanley, now 74 years old, continues to be active in the entertainment industry, participating in various reunion events and interviews. Lynn, born on January 11, 1963, began her acting career as a child, with her most notable role being Dodie Harper Douglas in My Three Sons. Playing the role at just 6 years old, Dawn embodied the sweet and innocent nature of Dodie, a character who brought warmth and joy to the Douglas family after being adopted by Steve. Despite her on-screen success, Dawn's life outside of Hollywood was far from idyllic. Her childhood was marred by the pressures of early fame, leaving her with little time for a normal upbringing. Her career dwindled as she transitioned to adulthood, leading to financial instability and a lack of professional fulfillment. She married and divorced twice, with neither relationship bringing the happiness she sought. Dawn never had children, a fact she later described with regret. Struggling with depression and health issues, she retreated from public life and now lives quietly at the age of 61, far removed from the glamour of her early years. Eleanor Audley, born on November 19, 1905, in Newark, New Jersey, brought a commanding presence to the role of Mrs. Vincent in My Three Sons. At 64, she infused the character with her trademark sternness and wit, a hallmark of her career. Before her television fame, Audley endured a lonely childhood shaped by strict Victorian parenting that stifled her creative spirit. Despite these constraints, she found solace in acting, eventually making a name for herself as a prolific voice artist and character actress, including iconic roles such as Maleficent in Disney's Sleeping Beauty. However, her personal life was marred by solitude. She never married and had no children, dedicating her life to her craft. Health issues plagued her later years, and she battled depression stemming from professional frustrations and physical decline. She passed away on November 25, 1991, at the age of 86 due to respiratory failure, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable performances but a life shadowed by isolation and unrealized personal dreams. Mike Minor, born on December 7, 1940, in San Francisco, California, was just 21 when he took on the role of Duke in My Three Sons. His charisma and natural charm won audiences over, but behind the scenes, his life was a mix of highs and devastating lows. Raised in a musical family, Minor pursued a singing career alongside acting, releasing several albums that gained modest acclaim. His marriage to actress Linda K. Henning, known for her role in Petticoat Junction, seemed idyllic at first but ended in a bitter divorce. The couple had no children, and the split left Minor heartbroken, compounding his struggles with professional stagnation as roles dwindled in the 1980s. Later, he faced financial difficulties and health problems, including a long battle with cancer, which claimed his life on January 28, 2016, at 75. Despite his vibrant on-screen persona, Minor's life was marked by heartbreak, fading stardom, and a tragic end. Doris Singleton, born on September 28, 1919, in Brooklyn, New York, was 45 when she played Margaret Williams in My Three Sons. A warm and nurturing figure on the show, Singleton's off-screen life was anything but serene. Early in her career, she found success as a dancer and radio actress, becoming a staple in 1950s television. Married to Charles Isaacs, a writer and producer, the couple never had children, and the absence of family weighed heavily on her in later years. Professionally, Singleton faced challenges as the entertainment industry shifted, forcing her into semi-retirement despite her talent. Her most profound heartbreak came with the passing of her husband, leaving her deeply lonely. She lived her later years quietly, occasionally reminiscing about her heyday but haunted by the loss of opportunities and loved ones. She passed away on June 26, 2012, at the age of 92 from natural causes, a long life filled with accolades yet tinged with sorrow. Natalie Masters, born on November 23, 1915, brought warmth and wisdom to the role of Mrs. Bergen in My Three Sons at the age of 46. While her on-screen character exuded kindness and care, Natalie's real life was marked by struggles that overshadowed her professional achievements. Her acting career included a handful of roles, but none brought her lasting fame or financial security. Married to a musician, her relationship was fraught with tension due to long periods of separation and differing career ambitions. The couple had no children, a source of sorrow for Natalie, who longed for a family to fill the emotional void in her life. After her husband's untimely death, Natalie faced years of loneliness, financial difficulties, and declining health. She passed away on February 9, 1986, at the age of 70. The exact cause of her death remains undisclosed, but friends remarked on her resilience despite a life filled with quiet suffering. Sarah Selby, born on August 30, 1905, portrayed the admissions clerk in My Three Sons with a dignified professionalism at the age of 58. Though her character brought order and stability to the screen, Sarah's personal life was anything but steady. A stage actress in her early years, she faced countless rejections before finding modest success in television. Her marriage to a fellow actor crumbled under the strain of their careers, leaving her a single mother to her son, Harold, whom she struggled to support. Financial insecurity plagued her later years, as acting roles dried up and her health began to deteriorate. Sarah was diagnosed with cancer in her early 70s but kept her illness private, continuing to work until she could no longer endure the pain. She died on January 7, 1980, at the age of 74, leaving behind a legacy of quiet determination and professionalism in the face of adversity. Betty Lynn, born on August 29, 1926, graced My Three Sons as Janet Dawson, bringing warmth and compassion to her role at the age of 41. Best known for her work in The Andy Griffith Show, Betty's career seemed to reflect a life of joy and achievement, but her personal story tells a different tale. Raised by a single mother in a financially unstable household, Betty faced significant challenges from an early age. Despite her success in Hollywood, her romantic life was fraught with heartbreak. She never married, citing a deep distrust of relationships after being betrayed by a fiancé. While she found solace in her faith and close friendships, Betty's later years were marked by isolation and health struggles, including a battle with arthritis that limited her mobility. She passed away on October 16, 2021, at the age of 95, remembered as a beloved figure who brought light to others despite her own hardships. Naomi Stevens, born on November 29, 1925, in Trenton, New Jersey, grew up in a family of first-generation immigrants struggling to find their place in a new country. Her childhood was overshadowed by the expectations of her traditional parents, who opposed her aspirations to perform. In My Three Sons, she portrayed Mama Rossini, a nurturing and wise presence beloved by the Douglas family, reflecting the warmth she yearned for in her own life. At 44, during the series, Stevens had carved out a niche for herself in character roles but faced relentless typecasting, limiting her opportunities. Her marriage to musician Samuel Feinstein was marked by financial instability and frequent arguments about her demanding work schedule. The couple had one son, David, who often felt neglected. Stevens endured four major personal tragedies: the death of her younger brother in World War II, a house fire that destroyed her family home, struggles with chronic depression, and the loss of her husband to a sudden illness. She passed away on January 13, 2018, at the age of 92. Benson Fong was born on October 10, 1916, in Sacramento, California, to parents who ran a modest grocery store. As a young boy, he was torn between his love for acting and his father's insistence that he join the family business. In My Three Sons, Fong played Ray Wong, a dependable and hardworking friend of the Douglas family, embodying qualities he admired in his own parents. At 47 during the show, Fong had already made a name for himself in roles that celebrated his Chinese heritage, though he often struggled against Hollywood's stereotyping of Asian actors. Married to Malia Fong, the couple raised 5 children: Christina, Garvin, Lori, Melissa, and Craig. Despite their large family, the marriage was strained due to Fong's frequent absences and the pressures of supporting such a brood. His life saw several tragedies, including the death of his eldest son in a car accident, the loss of his mother to a prolonged illness, the destruction of his family store during a riot, and his own declining health in later years. Fong passed away on August 1, 1987, at 70, from heart failure. Sidney Clute, born on April 21, 1916, in Brooklyn, New York, grew up in a working-class neighborhood where opportunities were scarce. His early life was marked by hardship, including the untimely death of his father when Clute was just 10 years old, leaving him as the man of the house. In My Three Sons, he played Bert Henderson, a practical and supportive figure who reflected Clute's own values of reliability and resilience. At 46 during the series, Clute had spent years trying to break into Hollywood, often relegated to small, uncredited roles. His marriage to actress Norma Wills was short-lived, ending in divorce amid rumors of infidelity. The couple had no children, and Clute often expressed regret over not starting a family. His life was marred by 4 major tragedies: the loss of his mother to cancer, financial ruin following a bad investment, professional stagnation after My Three Sons, and his own battle with cancer, which ultimately claimed his life. Clute passed away on October 2, 1985, at the age of 69. Norman Alden was born on September 13, 1924, and joined My Three Sons at age 46 as Tom Williams, a steadfast figure who often acted as a pillar of wisdom for the Douglas family. Off-screen, Norman's early life was shaped by the hardships of the Great Depression. Raised in Fort Worth, Texas, he worked multiple odd jobs before pursuing acting. His career spanned over 5 decades, with roles in films like Mary Poppins and Back to the Future, yet he never achieved the fame he longed for. In his personal life, Norman married twice. His first marriage ended in a bitter divorce, leaving him estranged from his 2 sons, Paul and Jeffrey, for many years. His second marriage, to actress Carolyn Smith, brought stability but was marred by financial strain due to mounting medical bills. Norman faced several biographical tragedies: his strained family relationships, a near-fatal car accident in 1975, and struggles with alcoholism in the 1980s. Despite his challenges, he lived a quiet retirement until his death from natural causes on July 27, 2012, at the age of 87. Lois January, born October 5, 1912, brought warmth and charm to My Three Sons as Irene Saylor, a character who embodied joy and positivity at the age of 48. Lois, however, experienced a life that sharply contrasted with her sunny on-screen persona. As a child in Texas, her family faced severe financial difficulties, and Lois began acting in the 1930s as a means to support them. She gained minor fame as a starlet in B-movies and westerns but struggled to transition to more prominent roles. After 2 failed marriages, first to a producer who left her for a younger actress, and later to a businessman who lost their savings in a failed venture, Lois found herself financially vulnerable in her later years. She had no children, a regret she often spoke of, and her once vibrant Hollywood social circle dwindled as her contemporaries passed away. Lois endured health issues, including vision loss in her 70s, which forced her to rely on a caregiver. She passed away peacefully on August 7, 2006, at the age of 93, leaving behind a legacy of perseverance and grace. Virginia Lee, born July 23, 1924, portrayed the gentle and nurturing Dorothy Danson on My Three Sons at the age of 46. Raised in a small town in Illinois, Virginia's early years were marked by loss when her father died in a factory accident. Despite financial challenges, she pursued a career in acting, finding success in supporting roles on stage and television. She married her high school sweetheart, George Allen, but their relationship was fraught with difficulties, including George's infidelity and long absences due to work. They divorced after 22 years of marriage, and Virginia never remarried. She had 1 son, Gregory, with whom she shared a close bond, but she was devastated by his untimely death in a car accident in 1985. Virginia also faced several health challenges, including breast cancer in her 50s, which she battled courageously. After retiring, she spent her final years volunteering at a local theater and sharing stories of her Hollywood days. She passed away from natural causes on November 22, 2008, at the age of 84. Ronne Troup, born on June 10, 1945, was 18 when she first portrayed Polly Williams Douglas in My Three Sons. Her character was a beacon of patience and understanding, qualities that mirrored Ronne's real-life demeanor. However, behind her gentle exterior lay a life of personal challenges. Ronne's career never achieved the longevity she hoped for, with acting opportunities becoming scarce as she aged. Her marriage to her college sweetheart ended in a bitter divorce after only a few years, leaving her to raise their two daughters, Sarah and Elizabeth, on her own. The financial and emotional toll of single motherhood weighed heavily on her. Ronne later remarried but struggled with marital discord and eventually divorced again. Now 79, she resides in a retirement community, living modestly while cherishing the memories of her time on screen, even as she battles ongoing health issues. Joan Tompkins, born on July 9, 1915, portrayed the dignified and wise Lorraine Miller on My Three Sons at the age of 52. A seasoned actress, Joan brought grace to the series, mirroring the supportive role she often sought to play in her real-life relationships. Tragically, her personal life was marred by heartbreak. Her first marriage ended in divorce after years of estrangement, and her second marriage to actor Carl Swenson ended with his sudden death in 1978. Despite having no children, Joan was deeply maternal and cherished her relationships with her nieces and nephews. Professionally, Joan enjoyed a steady career in television and theater, yet she often felt overshadowed by her contemporaries. A car accident in her 60s left her with chronic pain, which curtailed her acting endeavors. Joan passed away on January 29, 2005, at the age of 89, from complications related to pneumonia. Her later years were spent in relative seclusion in Southern California, reflecting on her storied career and enduring personal struggles. Tina Cole, born on August 4, 1943, in Hollywood, California, was only 21 when she joined the cast of My Three Sons as Katie Miller Douglas, the loving and supportive wife of Robbie Douglas. Her portrayal of Katie reflected her own sweet demeanor, bringing authenticity to the character. However, behind her cheerful on-screen persona, Cole faced personal challenges. Her first marriage to Volney Howard III ended in divorce, and although she later remarried, her relationships were often tumultuous. She had 4 children, including Volney Erskine Howard IV, and struggled to balance the demands of her personal life with a career that frequently pigeonholed her into maternal roles. Cole continued to act sporadically after My Three Sons, but the shadow of her iconic role loomed large, limiting her opportunities. Now 81, she lives a quieter life, reflecting on a career marked by early stardom and the challenges of reinvention. Cynthia Pepper was born on September 4, 1940, and took on the role of Jean Pearson in My Three Sons at the tender age of 20. Jean, a kind-hearted and loving character, represented hope and happiness in Mike Douglas's life. Off-screen, Cynthia's life was far from the idyllic romance of her character. Born to parents who divorced during her childhood, she spent much of her youth shuffling between homes, which instilled in her both resilience and a longing for stability. Her acting career, while promising, was short-lived, with few notable roles after her time on My Three Sons. She married young but went through a turbulent divorce within 5 years, leaving her a single mother to her only son, David. Despite her upbeat on-screen persona, Cynthia struggled with financial instability and the pressures of Hollywood's beauty standards, which led to battles with self-esteem. Now 84, she lives quietly in Las Vegas, far from the spotlight, dedicating her time to writing and reflecting on her tumultuous yet fulfilling life. Who is your favorite character from My Three Sons? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.